I personally love the Moffat era. I can accept that it's fundamentally flawed and full of holes, but when it comes down to it, Moffat wrote some of my favourite characters and monsters into existence. But he really doesn't know when to stop. What he's done to some of the biggest monsters is criminal. He seems to have found a huge collection of fan fictions he wrote when he was 7 and threw them at the show. So in this video I will explore the enemies I feel he has done a horrible injustice to, and how they were used more effectively in the Russell T Davies era, along with possible ways to fix his mistakes in the future.
The honour of battle.
I haven't seen the original appearances of the Sontarans as I've only watched season 1 and 2 of Classic Who, but in the Russell T Davies era, they were done really well. They are played as an unstoppable army where the Doctor must fight to stop them poisoning Earth, and stop UNIT from attacking back. Their warmonger lifestyle is explored really well, and Russell succeeds in making them feel like a genuine threat. Other than the obligatory potato jokes,
It's like a potato. Baked potato. Talking baked potato.
they're not played for comedy at all. There is a real sense of dread as the Earth is being poisoned while they victoriously chant. Wilf is suffocating as the Doctor is hopeless in a really effective cliffhanger. Compare that to now.
Got what, sir?
Because these are the gauntlets, aren't they?
Sir, emergency! I think I've been run over by a cab!
I don't have any problems with Strax. He's a genuinely funny comic relief character. They play off his affinity for violence well, and his charge in and kill mentality is a great opposite for the Doctor and the Paternoster gang. Honestly, he'd be perfectly fine on his own. On his own. They just had to make other Sontarans act like him. He's no longer the defect clone, he's apparently a dime a dozen. Honestly, all Chibnall would need to do to fix this would be to have another Sontaran story where they are really the villain. It can't be too small, it has to be a two-part masterpiece like The Poison Sky was.
Do not engage in battle.
The people of Earth fight back!
This is our chance.
I told you not to launch! Glorious warfare!
Get them out of there!
I don't know how Moffat managed to ruin his best creation. Everyone knew they'd come back when he became showrunner. It's just a shame he didn't keep it simple.
Don't blink. Don't even blink. Blink and you're dead. They are fast, faster than you could believe. Don't turn your back. Don't look away, and don't blink. Good luck.
This episode is a masterpiece. It's one of the best episodes of anything ever put on television. This episode is slow because it needs to be, because the idea of a weeping angel is inherently creepy. A statue that moves when you're not looking is terrifying. The episode took a suitably scary tone, allowing everything to slowly build up an atmosphere before finally the blink speech ends and the fun begins. In order to work, this episode draws its shots out. Long, uncut close-ups of eyes straining to stay open. The thing about the angels is that they use your natural reactions to their advantage. You can't turn and run, because then you'd be looking away. You can't stay staring forever because in the end, no matter what, you will blink. But immediately upon returning, Moffat adds 100 new features to his creation because if it ain't broke, fix it anyway. Here are a few examples.
No, anything that takes the image of an angel is an angel.
Is it the same angel, or does this create an entirely new angel? The way it's said in the show makes it seem like it's the same angel that's somehow controlling both of itselves. Secondly, what counts as the image of an angel? Because the crumbled angels look nothing like they used to. Could I therefore take a picture of them? Baby angels look completely different also. Never mind the fact that any image of a human with wings looks like an angel. You've got to be more specific, Moffat.
The eyes are not the windows of the soul, they are the doors. Beware what may enter there.
If you make eye contact with an angel, it can hijack your mind. I can understand that the image of an angel is cast on your retina, therefore it can climb inside your mind. Still doesn't make total sense, but sure. But that negates the victory of Blink, because the characters in the episode looked into the eyes of an angel. They're going to die now anyway. Thanks, Moffat.
If you're dead, how can I be talking to you?
You're not talking to me, sir. The angel has no voice. It stripped my cerebral cortex from my body and reanimated a version of my consciousness to communicate with you. Sorry about the confusion.
Apparently an angel can keep the essence of someone to talk through. How? This is never explained or used again. It just seemed like a cheap way of having them taunt the Doctor.
What are they doing? They're trying to make him angry.
All three of these are just from one episode. All of these concepts were introduced in just part 1 of their second appearance. But the worst is yet to come. The final nail in the Angel's coffin was the episode Angels Take Manhattan. One day, hopefully, I'll do a review on this, so I'll keep it brief. I actually like the concept of this story. A battery farm for weeping angels, and the whole book concept is interesting. Where the episode falls flat is the angels themselves. More accurately, one angel. One very large angel. The Statue of Liberty was a weeping angel the whole time. Never mind that it's metal, not stone. It was built by people, and therefore can't be an angel. And the fact that it's moving despite the guards inside, the 1.5 million tourists and locals looking at it, and that it's making an ungodly loud noise that would, in any case, any sane person would look outside.
What was that? I don't know.
Even if I can accept that it's an angel, I can't accept that it can move. You know what? Never mind. It's not a nail in the coffin, it's a giant chisel that just shattered the angels into a million little pieces. The only way to fix the angels is to not use them again. I mean, until long enough has passed that no one remembers this mess. And if they do make a new one, at least use the horror theme that they work so well with. Please, Chibnall? Perhaps the most heinous misuse of them all. As the most iconic monster from Doctor Who, you'd think they'd be handled with more care than this. They're disappointingly used throughout the Moffat era. Wait, what do I mean? Let's have a look at their first appearance since the revival. Aside from being entirely spoiled in the opening credits, the first scene we get of it is a view from its perspective, with it screaming. Not revealing it at all, but showing that a man needs a hazmat suit to get close. It's kept in a cell with no windows and 500 floors down into the earth, with a combination lock. We're only shown a pitch black room with a single blue light glowing in the dark. The Doctor, as always, is calm and confident until... The music builds dramatically with sharp strings setting the tone and gaining dramatic vocals. He becomes panicked, begging to be let out, showing that this, whatever it is scary enough to make the man who has always been confident beg for help. As soon as the Doctor realizes he's safe, he begins laughing antagonistically. He becomes intimidating, angry, and clearly has a deep hatred for this creature. Even those who haven't seen the classic series get the picture of just how dangerous and terrifying this monster is. We get the reveal that it's the last of its kind, and the mention that it's what's responsible for the Doctor's race being dead.
And what of the Time Lords?
Dead. They burnt with you. The end of the last great Time War. Everyone lost.
The Doctor then attempts to murder it in cold blood.
Exterminate.
Why should I?
The Doctor is only ever killed if absolutely necessary. Up to this point. Just to fully cement the point, the Doctor says,
Everything needs something.
What's the nearest town?
Salt Lake City.
Population?
1 million.
All dead. If the Dalek gets out, it'll murder every living creature. That's all it needs.
But why would it do that?
Because it honestly believes they should die.
The Dalek later breaks out, even with no functioning gun. Breaks the chains with ease, hacks through 1 billion combinations, takes no damage from a storm of bullets, then, for good measure, fully restores itself using the power of the internet. It blocks the bullets and kills a whole squad of guards without difficulty. The whole episode builds the fact that just one Dalek is terrifying, coming to an end with the Doctor famously pointing a gun at it and Rose.
Rose, get out of the way now!
Every subsequent appearance of the Daleks in the RTD era, aside from Daleks Take Manhattan, is brilliant. Compare that
There's nothing I can do.
He was so young.
to the subsequent appearances in Moffat era. The second actual Dalek episode in the Moffat era is Asylum of the Daleks.
Kill yourself.
Now, I personally like this episode, but I do agree that the Daleks are used poorly. This episode is more about Amy and Rory and their argument, and introducing the Clara mystery. The Doctor, the man who despises the Daleks more than anyone in the universe, hears about a Dalek concentration camp.
I have a daughter, Hannah. She's in a Dalek prison camp. They say you can help.
Do they?
He is then brought in front of the Dalek Parliament, and instead of being angry or afraid, cracks jokes and pretends to play the triangle.
It's me playing the triangle. Okay, I got buried in the mix.
Sorry, what?
Surrounded by carved out human remains used as slaves, and his most hated enemies he burned his own planet alive for, he just stands there and pretends to play the triangle. Then there's a god-awful Deus Ex Machina ending that is then resolved literally the next time we see the Daleks, excluding the 50th. And then there's the bumper cars scene.
Anyone for Dodgems? Exterminate! Because the real question is, where did I get the cup of tea? Answer, I'm the Doctor. Just accept it.
The only thing that Moffat managed to prove with his episodes was that the Daleks are a joke, not the galaxy destroyers they should be. The only decent Dalek episode in the Moffat era is Victory of the Daleks. The Daleks were a big deal. Now they're just something to put in
The great space dustbin.
I think if Chibnall can just have the Daleks be put on hold for 2 or 3 series, then bring them back big like in Series 4, we could all enjoy a big, good Dalek story with actual tension. Obviously, thanks to the deal with Terry Nation's estate, they must appear in every season. This is not a problem, just have them have a tiny 2-minute segment like in the Series 6 finale. As I said, I love the Moffat era, and my all-time favourite series was under his reign, and I wouldn't change anything, other than the Angels Take Manhattan and the absolute garbage of Hellbent.
Rid the universe of your filth!
But I'm kinda glad a new writer's getting to tackle these enemies, as they may do some good for them. Personally, I think Steven Moffat has a problem with putting comedy before character. Something that RTD did very well. He'd use jokes to emphasise character.
It's Mickey. No, it's Ricky. I think I know my own name.
You think you know your own name? How stupid are you?
Rather than completely do the opposite of what the character should do.
What is the noise? Explain! It's me. Sorry, what? It's me, playing the triangle. Okay, I got buried in the mix.
Why don't you just die?
Either way, as long as we don't get any more electric furballs or bouncy boys on Mars, we should be good. Right? So, in the time it's taken me to make this video, 2 trailers and a clip have released featuring the new series of Doctor Who, so I thought I'd address them. I think it looks absolutely brilliant. I'm hoping to get a prediction video up, but if I don't manage to, I'll probably do it after the first episode comes out.